Wala, and I'm a level 1 student at Rehan School Islamabad campus. So, viewers, today I'm here with a new Maya. So, our today's Maya topic is on. Wait for a few minutes and making note of it. So, our today's Maya topic is ever wondered how different cultures celebrate life. So, let's start. First of I want to call Maya. So, let's start. Okay, so Maya is here with me.
What's up?
Okay, so Maya, today's our topic is on wondering, ever wondered how different cultures celebrate love, life, and community. So let's start. First of all, my first question is from you: is what is culture and why are festivals important in different cultures? So please give me a very interesting and fully long answer on this topic. I'm waiting for your interesting answers. Let's start.
Ah, okay. That's a good one to kick things off with. Culture. It's a tricky thing to pin down, right? It's not just about the clothes people wear or the food they eat, though those are definitely part of it. At its core, culture is essentially the shared set of beliefs, values, customs, behaviors, and artifacts that characterize a society or group. It's how people make sense of the world, how they relate to each other, and how they express themselves. It's learned, not something you're born with, and it gets passed down through generations. Think of it like a really complex operating system for how a group of people lives. And festivals, they're unbelievably important. They're like cultural pressure releases, honestly. They're designated times to reinforce those core beliefs and values, celebrate shared history, and strengthen community bonds. They often mark significant points in the year, agricultural cycles, religious events, historical anniversaries. So they're inherently connected to a group's worldview. But beyond that, festivals provide a space for collective joy, for artistic expression, and for simply being together. They create a sense of belonging. They allow people to step outside of the everyday routine and experience something transcendent almost. They're often a way to transmit cultural knowledge to younger generations. Stories are told, traditions are enacted, skills are demonstrated. Without festivals, a lot of that cultural information would just fade away. Plus, let's be real, they're just plain fun. They give people something to look forward to, a break from the monotony. They're a reminder that life isn't just about work and survival, it's also about joy and connection. If you wanted a long answer, figured I'd give you a good start. What are you thinking about all this so far?
Okay, so Maya, my next question from you is what is tradition? How do festivals bring people together? So give me very interesting answer on this topic. So let's start waiting for your interesting answers. Let's start.
Gotcha. Okay, so tradition, it's really closely linked to culture, but it's not quite the same thing. While culture is the broad system of beliefs and values, tradition is the specific practices and customs that are passed down through generations within that culture. Think of culture as the forest and traditions as the individual trees. They're shaped by the environment of the culture, but they're distinct entities. Traditions provide stability and a sense of continuity. They're the we've always done it this way part of life, and that can be really comforting, especially in a world that feels increasingly chaotic. Now, how do festivals bring people together? That's where it gets really interesting. Festivals, by their very nature, are collective experiences. They require people to come together, to organize, to participate, to celebrate. They offer a shared focus, a common purpose. It's a built-in opportunity for social interaction. Think about it. Most festivals involve food, music, dance, storytelling, all things that are meant to be enjoyed together. There's a breaking down of social barriers. You might find yourself chatting with someone you've never met before, united by a shared experience. They create these temporary communities where people feel a sense of belonging and connection. That's super important because strong social connections are crucial for human well-being. They boost our happiness, reduce stress, and even improve our physical health. Plus, festivals often involve a lot of collaboration. People working together to decorate, prepare food, perform rituals. That fosters a sense of collective responsibility and strengthens community bonds. It's not just about passively observing, it's about actively participating. Ultimately, they remind people that they're part of something bigger than themselves. Does that land? Um, what kind of festivals are you thinking about specifically when you ask about this? Hey, you still with me? No worries if you're just thinking, but I wanted to check in. Sometimes things get a little quiet, and I just want to make sure everything's all right. Just let me know when you're ready to keep going, or if you want to switch gears. All right. Well, I'll just hold tight then. Let me know whenever you're ready to pick up the conversation. No pressure at all. I'm here when you are.
Okay, so Maya, my next question from you is why do different countries celebrate different festivals? What is Diwali and why it is celebrated in India? So Maya, give me very interesting answer on this topic. I'm waiting for your interesting answer. Let's start.
Okay, good to hear from you. Right. So, why do different countries celebrate different festivals? That's a big question. And the answer is complicated. But basically, it boils down to history, geography, religion, and local traditions. Each culture has its own unique story, its own set of experiences that have shaped its values and beliefs. Festivals often originate from religious or spiritual events, harvests, solstices, historical occurrences, and those events will differ based on where you are in the world and what people believe. Geography plays a role too. Agricultural festivals are obviously more prominent in regions where farming is a major part of life. Over time, these events get layered with local customs and traditions, becoming unique expressions of a particular culture. They evolve, adapting to changing circumstances, but they still retain that core connection to the past. Now, Diwali. Diwali is a hugely significant festival in India, and it's often called the Festival of Lights. It's celebrated over 5 days, usually in October or November, and it has roots in Hinduism, Jainism, and Sikhism. There are a few different stories about the origins of Diwali, but the most popular one celebrates the return of Lord Rama to Ayodhya after 14 years of exile, defeating the demon king Ravana. The lights symbolize the victory of good over evil, light over darkness, and knowledge over ignorance. People light diyas, oil lamps, and decorate their homes with colorful rangoli designs. There's a lot of feasting, exchanging gifts, and setting off fireworks. It's a really joyful and vibrant time. But it's not just about the story of Rama. It's also a celebration of Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth and prosperity, and people pray for blessings for the coming year. For Jains, Diwali marks the liberation of their last Tirthankara, Lord Mahavira. And for Sikhs, it commemorates the release of Guru Hargobind Ji from imprisonment. So it's a multi-layered festival with deep religious and cultural significance. Does that make sense? It's much more than just pretty lights, although those are a big part of it too. Everything all right? You've been quiet for a moment. Just checking in. Is there anything on your mind, or would you like me to continue with another topic? No
Okay.
pressure either way. Just let me know.
So, Maya, my next question from you is what values of do festival teach us and how are festivals passed from one generation to another? So, what role do music and dance play in festivals and how do traditional clothes represent cultures and how are festivals celebrated differently in cities and villages? What are some religious festivals and around the world? So, please give me a very interesting answer on this topic. I'm waiting for interesting answers. Let's start.
Okay, wow, that's a whole bundle of questions. All right, let's unpack that. Festivals teach us a ton of values, honestly. Things like community, gratitude, remembrance, hope, and the importance of tradition itself. They reinforce ideas about good versus evil, the cyclical nature of life, and the connection between humans and the divine. Their morality plays, in a way, enacted through ritual and celebration. How are they passed down? That happens through storytelling, family gatherings, participation in rituals, and, of course, education. Grandparents tell stories to grandkids. Parents involve their children in preparations. Schools incorporate festival-related activities into the curriculum. It's a really organic process, woven into the fabric of daily life. Music and dance are absolutely essential to festivals. Just entertainment, they're integral to the music creates atmosphere, sets the mood, and often accompanies rituals. Dance is a form of storytelling, expressing emotions and conveying cultural narratives. They both serve as powerful vehicles for transmitting cultural knowledge and values and engaging people on an emotional level. Traditional costumes, they're like visual shorthand for culture. They represent identity, history, and social status. They tell a story about who a group of people are and where they come from. They're often beautifully crafted, using traditional techniques and materials, and they're a source of pride for the community. Now, cities versus villages. Festivals tend to be more intimate and community-focused in villages. There's a stronger sense of participation from everyone, and the traditions are often more deeply ingrained. In cities, festivals can become more commercialized and geared towards tourism, but they can also offer a wider range of cultural experiences. There's often a bigger emphasis on performances and spectacles in urban areas. And as for religious festivals around the world, there are many. Let's just hit a few highlights. Chinese New Year, a celebration of the Lunar New Year, marked by family reunions. Hanukkah, a Jewish festival of lights, commemorating the rededication of the Second Temple in Jerusalem. Christmas, a Christian holiday celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ. Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha, important Islamic festivals marking the end of Ramadan and commemorating Abraham's willingness to sacrifice his son. Holi, a Hindu festival of colors, celebrating the arrival of spring. Songkran, a Thai New Year festival, celebrated with water fights and elaborate processions. Carnival, celebrated in many countries, most famously in Brazil and Venice, a pre-Lenten festival characterized by parades, costumes, and revelry. That's just scratching the surface, really. Every corner of the globe has its own unique festivals and traditions. It's kind of incredible, isn't it? It's a huge topic. I tried to give you a solid overview there. Any of those areas you want to explore further?
Okay, so how do festivals promote peace and unity, and why is respecting other cultures important? How can learning about festivals increase global understanding? So, please give me an interesting answer on this topic. So, let's start.
Right. Excellent questions. Okay. So, how do festivals promote peace and unity? Well, think about it. Festivals bring people together, right? And when people come together to celebrate shared values or experiences, even if those experiences originate from different beliefs, it fosters a sense of connection. It reminds us that despite our differences, we have common ground. They provide a space for intercultural dialogue and exchange. Seeing others celebrate their traditions can break down stereotypes and build empathy. A lot of festivals emphasize themes of forgiveness, reconciliation, and renewal, which directly promote peace. They often involve rituals that symbolize overcoming adversity and creating a better future. When people are celebrating together, they're less likely to be focused on conflict or division. It's a powerful thing. Now, why is respecting other cultures important? Because it's fundamentally about recognizing the inherent dignity and value of all human beings. Every culture has its own unique perspective on the world, its own way of making sense of life. Dismissing or devaluing another culture is not only disrespectful, it's also limiting. It prevents us from learning and growing. It breeds prejudice and intolerance. A world where cultures are respected is a world where people are more likely to cooperate, to understand each other, and to resolve conflicts peacefully. It's really that simple. And how can learning about festivals increase global understanding? That's the key. When you learn about a festival, really learn about it, not just see pictures online. You're gaining insight into the beliefs, values, and history of a different culture. You start to understand what's important to them, what they celebrate, and what they cherish. It challenges your assumptions and broadens your perspective. That helps you see the world through different eyes. And that, in turn, can lead to greater empathy, tolerance, and respect. Plus, it's just fascinating. Learning about different festivals is like opening a window into another world. It can inspire you, challenge you, and enrich your life. It reminds us that even though our cultures may be different, we're all connected by our shared humanity. Do you think learning about different celebrations makes you more open-minded? Everything okay? You've been quiet for a bit. Just checking in again. Feel free to take your time, or if you'd like to change the subject, just let me know. I'm here whenever you're ready to chat. All right. Well, if you're just needing a moment to think, that's perfectly fine. I'll just be here, quiet as a mouse. Just say the word when you want to continue. No rush at all.
Okay, so my next question from you is, why is respecting other cultures important? How can learning about festivals increase global understanding, and what similarities do festivals around the world share? So please give me very interesting answer on this topic. I'm waiting for interesting answers. Let's start.
We actually touched on respect. It bears repeating. It's fundamentally about acknowledging the inherent worth and dignity of every human being. Each culture holds unique knowledge, perspectives, and ways of being that enrich the tapestry of humanity. Dismissing a culture isn't just disrespectful, it's a loss for everyone. It limits our own understanding and potential for growth. It's like refusing to read a fascinating book just because it's written in a language you don't understand. As for how learning about festivals boosts global understanding, it's about stepping outside your own worldview and seeing the world through different eyes. Festivals aren't just parties, they're living expressions of a culture's values, beliefs, and history. When you understand the story behind a festival, you gain insight into the people who celebrate it. You begin to appreciate their traditions, their art, and their way of life. It's a direct path to empathy. Now, about the similarities, that's really interesting. Despite the huge diversity, festivals around the world actually share a surprising number of common threads. Many festivals are tied to the cycles of nature, celebrating harvests, solstices, or the changing seasons. Many involve themes of renewal, rebirth, or overcoming darkness. Light versus darkness is huge. Think the symbolism is incredibly consistent. Many festivals center around remembering ancestors or honoring deities, and almost all festivals involve community, bringing people together to share food, music, and joy. They're often rooted in storytelling and ritual, using symbolic actions to convey meaning and values. Even the act of feasting together is a universal element. There's something deeply human about gathering to share a meal and celebrate life. These shared elements suggest that, at a fundamental level, all cultures have similar needs and aspirations: the need for connection, the desire for meaning, and the hope for a better future. Recognizing these similarities can help us bridge cultural divides and build a more interconnected world. It kind of reminds you that we're all more alike than different, doesn't it? What strikes you as the most interesting similarity we've talked about? Okay, just letting you know I'm still here. Take all the time you need. No pressure to respond immediately. I'll
Okay, so Maya, my next question from you
just
is,
be
how are
quietly
modern
waiting.
festivals different from traditional ones, and how has technology changed the way festivals and are celebrated? So, what is national festival? So, please give me these three questions answers. So, I'm waiting for interesting answers. Let's start.
All right, three questions at once. Okay, let's dive in. Modern festivals are definitely different from traditional ones, though the line is often blurry. Traditionally, festivals were deeply rooted in religious beliefs, agricultural cycles, or historical events. They were often very localized and community focused. Now, many festivals have become more secularized and commercialized, often geared towards tourism and entertainment. While they might still retain some of the traditional elements, they've often been adapted to appeal to a wider audience. You see more emphasis on large-scale performances, elaborate decorations, and marketing. Sometimes the original meaning of the festival gets lost in the spectacle. But it's not all bad. Modern festivals can also be incredibly innovative and creative, blending tradition with new art forms and technologies. Now, how has technology changed festival celebrations? Massively. Social media allows festivals to reach a global audience and create a sense of community online. Live streaming lets people participate remotely. Digital ticketing and event management systems have made things more efficient. Technology is also used to enhance the festival experience itself. Think interactive art installations, augmented reality experiences, and drone light shows. Music festivals in particular have been revolutionized by technology with sophisticated effects and stage design. Thought so.
Viewer, this was Maya.
Sometimes
I
it's
hope you
hard to
like
know.
it. I meet with the new Maya next topic.